welcome you all back to Between the Lions, a podcast for Lions, by Lions, hosted by the Beaumaris Lions Club. This morning I'm chatting to the very impressive Deb Brook, who is the founder and president of the Bayside Community Emergency Relief. This organisation started back in 2020 and in a very short space of time has gained an enviable reputation. It garnered the Best Community Event Award in 2021, and in the same year, Deb was awarded the Westfield Local Hero Award and the Bayside Australian of the Year Award. Deb, it's so nice to have you with us. Welcome.
Hi, it's great to be with you. Apologies about the yappy dog.
No worries. Deb, let's just start off with telling everybody about how and why you got started with the Bayside Community Emergency Relief.
Basically, it started from an idea I had New Year's Eve, December 1999, when the bushfires were raging out of control. And I'd been involved with charity work for decades in one form or another. And I've also seen how well-meaning people in the community jump into action saying, we want to donate this, we want to donate that. And a lot of these donations don't get to where they're intended, and they're also not needed. They're wrong. People mean well, but they don't necessarily do the right thing. So I thought, look, you know what, let's just get this Facebook group together and guide people the right way with the bushfires. So that's how that started. And then I stepped away at the end of January 2020 and then handed basically the model over to Bayside Council, saying, look, this is a model that's designed, all the councils can do it in their local areas and they can get community groups together. And there was a lot of red tape, that process. So they asked me to form a charity, which I sort of declined initially. And then COVID was coming, COVID was here. And I went, look, I've got to do something. So I went ahead, formed the charity, working on support COVID relief in three crucial areas, which was vulnerable elderly, in not-for-profit aged care, children fleeing domestic violence, also adults fleeing domestic violence, and also the homeless, as well as we did emergency packs when they were needed, and still responding to natural disasters like the storms in the Dandenongs last year, floods, ongoing bushfire relief down the track. We had a truckload of goods up to Can River last year because they're still living in caravans since the bushfires. It's basically whatever comes up and comes under the umbrella of emergency relief. We're able as a charity to operate within Victoria, and we help our community when they're in need, but we also get our community to help others within Victoria when they're in need, but we get them to help with the right goods and help the right way. So it has the strongest impact. And a lot of our comfort packs are designed with social workers and other people in the know to be relevant in certain areas such as homelessness and aged care and domestic violence, and also emergency relief packs that we now have for men and for women. So it's ballooned into something well above what we expected it to be. Demand has not slowed, the opposite.
Yes.
And it's we're actually adding 2 more members to our team, because it's becoming hard now that our rolling lockdowns are finally over. Most of the board and the committee work. So it's increasingly hard for some members to be as hands-on as they'd like to be. So we're bringing a few new people in to help more with the upfront work, because we don't struggle, we get there, but the hours are very long, and there's a large amount of coordination and communication involved in getting these initiatives up and going, but also answering to emergency call-outs at the same time. Next year is we were hoping would be a bit quieter, but it's already shaping up to be absolutely massive in a slight turn of direction, but still in emergency relief. Food relief has become absolutely critical with post-COVID lockdown issues, but also the cost of living has skyrocketed and is still going up, and more families are in need. So we're doing non-perishable food relief, and that will be going, if we can hopefully start it December this year, right through to the end of next year. And it is going to be pretty much continual in a few different areas. So that there's a lot coming up, and that's in as well as the ongoing demands for domestic violence packs, homelessness drives and packs. There's a lot on the horizon without our natural disasters. So, yeah.
Deb, tell me a bit about the organisation, your team. How big is your team? And you mainly volunteers. Also a little bit about how you manage to keep such a vibrant team of volunteers going.
Well, our core team, we've got 4 on our board, which is President, Vice President, Treasurer and Secretary. We've got room for a 5th person to come on, but we are being very careful about who we choose to bring on at that board level, and we have to see where their skills would be of use at that level. But we've also got a committee, and the committee at the moment, we've got social media, which is help with graphics and website art and development of certain various, repeat posts that we need to do. We've got someone who handles our Instagram, and we are bringing in 2 more people, who will help with events, will help with upfront with initiatives, with coordination of large-scale emergency relief when it does pop up. There's a lot of plans and a lot of changes in that direction with the actual committee that sits underneath the board, because we do need to grow that and to strengthen it, because we found that as well-meaning as people have come on, they've had young kids, we've had lockdowns, they haven't been able to cope with homeschooling and all the lockdowns and pressures of that, and all the job changes that a few people have gone through as well. So we've had only a couple of people in and out, not a lot. So we're strengthening it now, and bringing in new people with different skill set. We've got a solicitor coming on board. We've got people with a lot of governance and grant experience coming on board, which we've already got that experience, but to have a backup in that area, I think is vital. But also, as I said, a lot of people will be helping me more with the upfront work, with our initiatives, with the coordination, with the follow-up and the chasing people up, and more of us will be involved in the strategic planning of that, because at the moment a lot of that's just me. And it's just untenable to maintain at such a level, because I also work. But I'm self-employed, so I can stagger my hours to suit. But with that said, it's a challenge to get to my real job, because the charity it's 7 days a week.
48-hour day rather than a 24, isn't it?
Oh, that would be heaven. Then I'd have some R&R. So yeah, it's there's a lot of work that goes into running a charity, which a lot of people don't realise. We're across the governance. We're very fussy with the governance and very aware of what we have to do and keep it up to date. So that's all covered off and updated regularly. So the governance is a huge thing with us, because we want to make sure that, we cross the T's, dot the I's, and that is covered off. And we want 2 people in that area now. We want 2 people in the grants area. We want 2 to 3 of us in the initiatives area, following people up and answering messages. It literally takes up a few hours of my day every day. We're getting there. I mean, we've got Morley Community Village as our main home for packing. That has taken a phenomenal amount of pressure off me time-wise, and also before that, all the packing was done in my house. So now it's out, it's there. So it's only the short pop-up emergency aid that is done through my house, because we've really, as much room as we have at Morley, it's a 7 by 8 metre classroom. It's in a fabulous compound. It's all not-for-profits in the building, which is an old school. But that building, or that allocation, that room, as brilliant as it is for our packs, it won't accommodate everything that we need it to accommodate. So I still run a fair amount of the charity out of my home. It's a juggle, but it's one that's working actually really well now that we have Morley, because it's 10 minutes down the road from me.
Yes,
So it's not a problem at all.
logistics are always the problem, aren't they? Especially when you're accumulating goods and then having to pack and distribute. That's really
It is. And it has been in my house. Yeah, which, look, for the first going off, it was a juggle, but I did it. But this year especially, it was just impossible because we had initiatives back to back or requests back to back. And to be able to fulfill them, it was just too hard. We just physically didn't have the space.
Yes.
And we also had a storage unit. So I was running up and back from the storage unit 20 or 30 times. So now we don't need that, which is fabulous. And having a home base at Morley is absolutely incredible. It will probably save us a couple of 100 hours a year, and that's probably being conservative. It's brilliant. So juggling between the two places, which isn't a problem, it's working out really, really well. When I get sick, it doesn't help because I have to go slow. I don't like going slow. If people who have worked with me know that. But we're getting there. I mean, we've still got, I think, another 12 initiatives to do before the end of November. With that said, they are all underway. These initiatives aren't necessarily ones that we seek out to do. It's people come to us and they make requests, or we get grants and we have to fulfill those within a certain deadline. But, initiatives also count as we just recently had grilled a jar for them for the month of September. So that counts as an initiative for us. So it's not like that's really, oh my God, that's taking hundreds of hours to do. So we've got our online auction coming up, which we have one huge fundraiser a year, which is an online auction. And we have in excess of 150 lots, which is including several hundred items donated by the community and also local businesses. So that's coming up, I think, 23rd of October, and it lasts for a week. That is an amazing amount of work to set up. And basically, there's only two of us that are on it. So I've got a lady that helps to get the vouchers and donations from local traders, which is brilliant, because it's all about us also promoting local and supporting local within our area. So that's coming up at the end of this month. We've got our only other real big fundraiser is People's Choice Lottery, which runs from September to March. So that's also underway now, but I haven't actually launched it yet because I don't want to throw all these fundraisers at people at once. That's it, though. That's it fundraising-wise. That's all we do for the year, and that supplements what people don't donate, because we do literally thousands of packs a year now, and we can't expect the public to be able to donate tens of thousands of items for those packs. So we supplement with money raised from these fundraisers. We buy as many items as we can at trade prices, and our packs are just, I mean, the children's packs, for example, are probably worth about $80 each if you were buying retail, possibly more in some cases, because some of the dolls we've been donated are worth over $100 each. Our packs, if you had to buy them retail, they're worth, probably $50 to $120 a pack, but we do them for very, very, very little. And we find businesses donate goods to us through the year, and we think, oh, they will go in this pack. But if they don't go in any of our packs, we will then donate to another not-for-profit who could use them, mostly homeless and those sort of organisations, because they're always in need.
The need never goes away.
It's growing. And I think the latest demand is really the cost of living. It's absolutely skyrocketed, and there's no end in sight. I think power costs are due to surge by about 35%. I started reading earlier today. It's just impossible. It's as I said, that's why we're doing food relief in the next year, because there's a lot of organisations that provide food to the community. We don't do direct to the community, but we will help those organisations because they are struggling to keep up with demand. We sit on Bayside Council and also Glenora Council. They have community groups committees, and we sit on those too. So we can see what groups are struggling, and we will work in with them, and we will help them help others. So there's two local ones in Bayside that get the bulk of our support food-wise. But if others do come up and they are struggling, we will help. And also in other areas as they crop up. I mean, last year we were helping Connect Health and Community. They had some families living in cars through COVID lockdowns, and those families had COVID, so they relocated them to hotels. And I think there was a couple of families of 5. They had nothing other than the clothes on their back. So we got clothes to them. We got bedding to them. It was Halloween, and one of the families had I think there was a 4-year-old. So one of the community got a little Halloween basket and put a few chocolates in it for the child. And, of course, we went overboard and flooded them with chocolates and goodies that they could dot around their hotel room so the 4-year-old could do trick-or-treating or, hunting in the hotel room for Halloween goodies. But we had a few families that we supported in a row. It was amazing and really terrifying to see what these people go through. People don't realise there's just a massive need out there.
We don't count ourselves as lucky as we should with a roof over our head and food in our stomachs, do we? Could you tell me a little bit more about your food relief, how it's working?
Well, this year what we did for National Student Volunteer Week, we worked in with Haileybury College in Brighton and did a very short burst call out for food from families within the college. So every year level was coordinating their own food relief. They got it to us. We split it up into basically 2 packages for Grace Heart Community Church and also for BASIS. And they were absolutely bowled over by the amount of food came in. At the same time, I did a call out to our community in general who topped up the food that was donated by that school. But as much as it was, especially with BASIS, it was gone within a week. It was just amazing to see that. Yeah, BASIS came to us for an urgent call out because they had run out of many of their staples. So what we did, we were given a generous donation from Bayside Council late last year, and that money was used for a short top-up of basic staples, like several $100s worth of basic staples that went to BASIS, with coffee, tea, UHT milk, sugar, tuna. Protein's a huge thing that they need to get out to people. Baked beans, sauces. I can't even remember. The list was like a mile long, but within 2 days, we actually got, a carload of goods out to them, or actually delivered straight to them. Truckload, I should say, not a carload. So a truckload of goods was delivered straight to BASIS to help. And again, that only lasted a week or so. So it is ongoing. So I'm in the middle of talks with Bayside Council. We've come up with a strategy to further engage schools next year in the Bayside area, which is why I'm also bringing more people onto the team to help me coordinate that, because it's going to be very, very big, and we are going to be engaging all the schools in Bayside or inviting all the schools in Bayside to help us out and provide food ongoing, because it's just these organisations can't keep up. Yeah. The demand is horrendous. Homelessness is rising. People struggling financially is through the roof. People living in cars. It's still happening and it's on the rise. So really the community can help and really we should help. We should be supporting ourselves. All this is within our community. It's not even food outside of our community. Mm-hmm. We have actually yesterday, I haven't announced it yet, we got a grant from Frankston Council also to help their area in food relief. So that's going to be 3 bursts of food aid up to the Frankston region, and that will happen next year because physically we cannot get to it this year. But we also have to wait to the start of the grant period. There's a bit involved with its grants. We secured another grant from Bayside Council this year for $7,500, also for food aid and food relief. And we're going to be getting our volunteer community to pack some staples packs that we've designed. So they will be going out 2 to 3 times early next year because, again, I just don't think physically we're going to be able to get to it this year because between now and the first week of December, which isn't that far off, we've got a request of 150 packs for children fleeing domestic violence. We've got aged care packs that we're making and also some carers packs that we throw in because I think the carers deserve a little something around Christmas time too. I don't even know where my list is. I had it out and it's gone. And we've got so many other packs that are underway. I'm not sure how logistically we can get in food relief. Oh, we've got a toy drive as well for the people up at Chelsea, for families they're supporting. So, those items have to come in and be stored, and there's not the room to do it all, unfortunately. So, if we can get one food drive in this year, we're going to. And I'm pushing like crazy to get the domestic violence pack sorted as soon as possible within this month. And then we can make some space and get the food packs underway. It's just a juggle, the logistics of it. If we had more space, we could do it. And look, I'm knowing me, we'll do at least one lot of food aid before Christmas. It's not that hard, guys. It's just a matter of where to put things. And with everything else that's already locked in and going on, we've got to work it all in. And we already know that we're going to get another request for domestic violence packs early in the new year. We don't know what it is yet, but we know it's coming. Morley having that allows us to get ahead, which is absolutely brilliant, and it's priceless. As I said, demand's gone through the roof.
Deb, can you tell me, do you have donation points? Do you look for donations all through the year, or do you like people to rather donate at the time of your drive?
Well, we have actually donation stations that have been set up in a few areas, and we're actually looking for a few more areas to set them up in. We got a grant last year from Community Bank, Bendigo Bank in Hyatt, and we worked in together with them and Men's Shed in Beaumaris. We set up these fabulous donation stations, which are timber boxes. On the front of them, there is a list of goods that we need ongoing, which is basically your mini toiletries and basic staples. It's not food on that, but it's things for domestic violence, for emergency packs. It's like new pencil cases, new pens, pencils, notebooks, all that sort of thing. I also do call outs on our social media whenever we get specific requests in and we need to basically bulk up those goods. But people can drop into one of the donation stations. We've got one at Tingley Community Centre. We've got Your Dentistry in Nepean Highway, Mentone. We've got Community Bank, Bendigo Bank in Hyatt. The other one is Chelsea Heights Community Centre. We are after 2 more points. I would like something out in the Bentley area, if possible. And also, around Beaumaris area or Mentone would be great as well. But basically, they're a timber box with all the go gear on the top. They're featured on our website, but also on our Facebook group. Our Facebook group is actually where all the action happens. So in the pinned posts up there, you will see our donation station boxes, so you can recognise them. You'll see a list of outlets they are located at. People can go in there when those businesses are open and donate there. And we have a team that go out and we regularly empty the bins. Basically, they're a 50-litre rubbish bin inside these donation stations, and we empty them every so often. But also people can contact me privately and arrange drop-off to either East Brighton or to Morley. Morley Community Centre, we have a donation bin outside our room, so people can go in and donate there. That's in East Bentley. But we would like something more visible in that area. We're up to having more donation stations coming on board. At the moment, we've got 2 that are made up, ready to go out, but physically I have not had the time to get to arrange it. But as I said, with more people coming on board, we will. It's just been an impossibility keeping up with everything that we want to keep up with. Yes, we are moving forward. Yes, we are increasing how many people we help, how many organisations we help. All that is great, but it's the background work and the admin work and, the setting up of these stations that we need in order to get things flowing that bit better again. The donation stations have been absolutely brilliant. There's only been a few people who have used them to dump rubbish, but that is going to happen everywhere. It's absolutely disgusting. One person, some of the putrid stuff they dropped off. I don't understand why, but, that's their problem. But most of the stuff we get, 98% of what we are given is fabulous and is what is needed. We do find that some people put broken toys in there, which no, if we have not asked for toys, we do not want toys, and we never want broken. We are giving to people that are highly vulnerable. They've got very, very, very delicate mental health issues. You do not give them used items. You do not give them dirty or broken items. These people are teetering. Some of these people that we give our packs to, they're suicidal. There is a lot that goes into this. It's not like, oh yeah, let's just help in this area. There's a lot that goes in to these pack designs. It has to be done properly in order for it to actually help and have impact. And I think because they are designed properly, the demand for them is a lot higher than we anticipated. But it's great because they're helping people at a time where they need help the most.
And Debs, if anybody wants to volunteer to help you, where should they be going?
Well, first off, look on our Facebook group. We've got a Facebook page and a group. It's the group that you want, which has the beach scene behind our logo. Instructions there on how to join our volunteer database. They're pinned at the top with all the main posts. So people can sign on to our volunteer database. They can choose areas to volunteer in when they sign up. We've got ongoing initiatives on that database, which includes a lot of art and craft activities as well, like handmade cards that we try and put in most of our packs. We always need beanies, scarves, animal aid, like animal pouches and things. So when there is a disaster that includes wildlife, we're trying to have kangaroo pouches and possum pouches and the rest of it already in stock so they can go straight out. We don't have a week or two to get this stuff out. So we encourage people to make, where they can on and off through the year. There's nothing urgent. We have a certain amount of fabric that we can give to people that has been donated to us. We have some card supplies to give to people that, again, has been donated to us and some that we've bought because we hand out probably well over 1,000, 2,000 cards a year in our packs. We're not talking within the hundreds or dozens. It's amazing what we're doing. I mean, we guesstimate that we've done, $1.5 million, possibly even $2 million in aid. And that's not financial aid. That's goods that have been either donated or we've had to buy. It's huge. I mean, we don't deal really, we're not one of these charities that says, look, we need a lot of money, because we don't. We need goods. We need specific goods. But where we do need the money is to fill the gaps, what people can't donate, because the need or the requests for our services is it's actually quite significant now, which is it's great in a way, but it's also sad in a way because it just shows how many people out there are in need and that need supporting. And I think we're a very lucky community generally. There's many among our community that are not, and I don't think a lot realise that. But we are generally a very lucky community, and if we can all help just that little bit, if we help a little bit, and if the more people that help a little bit, it adds up to a heck of a lot. Foresee any of this, really. None of us aimed for any of this. We just aimed to get the help out when it was needed. I don't sit there and calculate the dollars and cents of everything that goes out. We don't need to. We don't need to, because it's not about a monetary value. It's not really about us doing 5,000 packs or 3,000 packs. It's about us just helping in bulk, helping hundreds here, thousands there, whatever it is. If the help is needed, you get it out. It's not about a numbers game or about competing with anyone. It's about just getting it out.
Oh, Debs, I want to thank you so much for giving up your time to come and tell us about your organisation and the amazing, I really mean that, the amazing job that you have been doing. I hope you flooded with volunteers, especially over this Christmas season, and flooded with donations that do not include broken toys.
Yeah, that would be great. But we will be doing more call-outs, a lot more between now and the end of the year. As I said, we never know what's going to hit us, so it's hard to pre-plan. But with some of the areas, I know now a bit of a pattern that's emerged. So we are planning and we are doing sessions. We work right through, like there's no break. So right through December, January. We will be holding sessions. I will be announcing them on our social media. The sessions are announced on Facebook, not really on Instagram. But yeah, through Facebook, we've got almost 4,500 members on our Facebook group. And the more members we have, the more people can hear about what's going on, and they can pitch in wherever they like. There's no pressure. You know, you can come to a volunteer session. You could donate, you know, forgo the cup, you know, price of a cup of coffee and donate a pack of colouring pencils, you know, whatever. We do have a donation button on our main website that people can donate monetarily as well. Any donations through that are tax deductible. So people are encouraged to keep their receipts because we've got full tax status. So, you know, that would be great. It's always a bonus to get the monetary donations. We don't get a lot, but everything we do, if people donate a certain amount and they want it flagged for domestic violence or for homeless, we've got the capabilities within our accounting system that we flag that money. And like recently, we had some person donating $1,000 for the homeless. So that was amazing. And another one wanted aged care, $500 to aged care. So we flagged that, and we made sure that every cent of that went to where these people wanted it to go. So I'm very conscious of all that. And we're small enough that we can do that. We're small, but we're mighty. We pack a bigger punch than it's great. We've got a very generous community, but sadly the need is rising. So we'll do what we can.